Hello folks, I thought I would make a little bit of a different video today. What I'm going to do today is, as you can see, most of my onions have now fell over, so it's time to get them out. Like this one here, for example. Now, over the past few months, I've been recording things to do with the onions. So like I say, this is a little bit of a different video today. I thought I would just make a little compilation of how I got from seeds to the onions that I've got now. Like I say, all I'm going to do, it looks like it's going to rain actually, so I better do it quickly. So I'm going to pull the rest of the onions out, get them in the greenhouse today to dry out. So while I'm doing that, get yourselves a cuppa or whatever and sit back and watch my little compilation, hopefully a little growing guide to show you how to grow onions, successful onions. So crack on, I'm Granny, see you in a bit.
Dave at the allotment. Dave, what are you after this afternoon?
Hello, welcome to Dave's allotment.
Still cracking on at the allotment? Get the kettle on.
It's a lovely day.
It's Dave at the allotment. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Oh, what a miserable day. Better, a little bit warmer in here. I finished my cuppa. Before I crack on as well, the other day I was in Wilco's. I was glanced past the gardening section, as you do, and I thought I'll get myself some onion sets. So I went there, and what can I say? There was hardly any onions left. They must have been there for weeks, because the ones that were left were just rotten, all rotten. So what's the point in buying your onions if they're going to do that? It's too early. It's far too early. I'm going to get mine from the allotment shop. So anyway, as a little experiment, I bought the only bag I could find which wasn't rotten. And these are Stuttgarter ones. So as a little experiment, I'm going to sow these ones. I've already put some in the other day. And let's see what happens to them. Because like I say, Wilkinson's shop shouldn't sell things too early, especially up here in the northeast. There's no way things are going to grow at this time of year unless you've got grow lights, etc, etc. So I'm just going to stick these here, look after them, see what happens. I've been sifting through, trying to get the best ones, as you do. Most of them are tiny little things. Look at the size of that. Now what size onion do you think you'll get if you planted that? Not very big one. Well, that's what I think anyway. But I'll get the best ones, I'll stick them in. Right, that's better. Shut that door. Aye, I'll have a drink of this first, I'm parched. Right. I've been carrying stuff over, I've been shopping, I've done a little bit of shopping. I got some onions. Some onion sets. I'll tell you about them later. But for now, what I'm going to be doing is filling these pots here, the cups. I've already made holes in the bottom because you see these onion sets that I grew. I sowed like a couple of weeks ago or whatever. The last time the video I sowed these. Well, as you can see, with this fine weather that we've been having, it's been the hottest February in records, apparently. And it was quite hot for the past 2 weeks. Things have shot up. Look at these. Well, anyway, They're not going in the ground yet, so what I'll be doing is putting them up in the little bigger pots, because they need some, you know, they need room to grow in that. So I'll be getting on with that. And these onions, the onion sets I got from Newburn, are stir on. So I'll be going through these and starting them off and all that kind of thing. Is there anything else to show you? No. Anyway, Reed, I'll crack on. I'll see you in a bit. Right, so I'm just finishing off potting these onion sets off into bigger pots here, because it needs to be done. If you've got your onion sets in that small and they're not going out in the ground yet, which I wouldn't advise because it is too cold, especially up here in the northeast of England, I would advise getting them out of these and putting them into bigger pots. The roots are just starting to grow there. A load of them that I've been going through, the roots were coming out the top, so you don't want that. So the best way to do it, I just fill the cup there, just a little bit in the bottom. That's all you need. Don't compress it down, because the soil that comes around that when you pull it out, firm that down. They like to be nice and firm, otherwise you'll get all sorts of problems later on. Now, like I say, these are the ones that I grew when I started a few weeks ago, the ones from Wilkinson's. And I didn't expect that fine weather. There, look at that. The roots are starting to grow up the pot there. That's no good. That's a bit full. So we'll get them down in the soil that's around there. Push that, not too hard, just so it's got a good firm hold itself. And then top up, give a good press down at the sides to get all the air out. And that's it, the last one now. And I'll get on with something else. These onion sets here, I'll be doing the same thing with them. Good firm press down. That's it. I'll put them with the rest later, because while I'm still here, what I'm going to do is fill these trays back up and go through them onion sets and start again. Successional sowing, folks. Successional sowing. Now these are stir on. I think they were. I can't remember. I think they were stir on anyway. And the nice good sets. This cost us £1.20 for half a kilo, which is plenty. Like, there's well enough there for me. Plus I've already got these ones started off. So I'll get busy with this. Get busy! And then I'll crack on with something else. Like I say, I've got some more stuff to pot on. Well, you know the gist. I'll crack on with that. See you in a bit. Right, so I've potted up all of them onions and I've put the onion sets into the trays. Now I'm going to pot these up. These are the Peter Glazebrook giant onions that I sowed from the seeds that I saved from my giant onion last year. So I'm going to pot these on. Now I know all these professional growers are just going, what are they? But the onions to me, and even, like I say, even if they don't make a show bench, I can eat them. And it's the first time I've ever succeeded in growing onions from seed. So, to give them the ultimate head start, I'm going to add some of this Ultimate Booster, the Charge, Ego Thrive Charge. I got some of this off Gary last year, so I'm going to add that. Just a little bit, just a little bit. And mix it up. And I'll start filling these pots. Like I say, I'm not expecting any massive onions from these, but they're from seed, and that's good enough for me. So I'll make a little hole with my finger. I don't know if that's too big, so I'll just wait and I'll pull one of these onions up. Not pull one of them up. Gently ease it out from the bottom. Push, push, push. And then try and knock as much of the topsoil off as you can. It's tricky, this. Right. Yeah. Tricky. Right, how are we going to do this? Get out, will you? Hey. Ah, hey. Right, this isn't the way to do it, folks. Right, hopefully that hasn't damaged the onion. Has it got a canny root on there? So I'll poke a little hole down, sink it in. Ah, tricky. It's a delicate thing, this. Poke it down. Top it up. Give it another poke it down. Level it out. There, that's the best I can do for you, mate. Carry on. Grow as big as you can, fella. So I'm going to do it. I'll do another one. It's got to get easier. Can it be that tricky? You've just got to be delicate. Right, I'll try again. Poke. Come out. Please just come out. Oh. Well, it's out. Get all that off. Make a little hole. Where's Dibber plants when you need them, eh? I think it's a bit too cold for him. Right, that's another one done. So I'll pop these on and I think I'll go outside and play. I've sowed some swede, just normal ones. They're the onions that I put into the cells this afternoon. And these are the onions that I potted on. So they'll sit in there till it's time to go outside. It's too cold just yet. Plus now that it's just started raining, the ground's going to be soaking again. They're the onions, me giant onions. The Peter Glazebrook ones, I potted them on there, half a dozen. No, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, cuppa's on. Cheers. Before I start, I would just like to say, I thought I might as well buy myself some, it was 3 for 2. So I got the onion sets for free, really. These are golden gourmet shallots. I'll be sticking them in. And I got some red onion sets. I put them in yesterday because there's a little bit of a disaster, folks. A little bit of a disaster. Can you see me onions are out here? Now I was looking the other day and I thought, well, they'll be almost ready to go out. Then I looked and I felt one, and I don't know if that's too close there. It's just went like all soft. Now it's got a good growth on there and the roots seem to be okay. So I've stuck them outside. Hopefully they'll swell back up when they get planted in the ground, which is what they're going to be done today. All these ones that have went soft, I'm going to go through them. If there's any that's too bad, I'm going to have to just start again. But that's the way. I knew, you know, when these were the first onion sets I sowed, and I think that was in February, and I said on the video this is far too early, and this is the reason why. Unless someone can tell us different, and that's normal, but I've never had onion sets that have just shriveled up. I'll show you another one. Perfect growth, soft, but the roots are fine. So they're going in the ground today. That's what I've been doing. I've been preparing a little bit of an onion bed. So come rain or shine or whatever, that's what I'm doing today. Where's my cutter? I've been doing some potting on as well. I'll show you all that later on, but for now I'll crack on. See you in a bit. Right folks, as you can see, this is where I've been preparing to put my onions in. The final stage is putting this seaweed plant fertiliser, grow fast stuff. So I've been using my little tool here. Now this is obviously a hand tiller thing, and it's good. So what I did, I got my fork, give it a good forking over, get rid of all of the roots that I missed the first time. There wasn't that many. Then got that out, sorted. So what I'm going to do now is put some of this grow more stuff along the trench where the onions are going to go. So just a little sprinkle like that, and then what I'll do is use the tiller again and get it into the ground. Good mix up. Sorted. So this is where I'm going to start putting my onions. The ones that might have failed, who knows. That's that done. I've got enough there to put one row in for now. See how far I get. Now just give it a little rake level. And I'll start planting. So I'll crack on with that and I'll see you in a bit. Isn't that right? Beercan man. Way aye! Right, I've showed you them. The grapevine is coming on strong, coming on strong, coming on strong, coming on strong. Come the shaman and I keep coming on. It's coming on strong, like I just said. Oh, cooker, get in. And right now it is 13 Celsius, which ain't too bad. I potted this, one of the giant onions that I grew from seed. I potted that on the other day. That's looking alright, as are the other ones. Cool.
time to get going. The plot's all done, now it's time to start sowing seeds in many kinds and seeds in many colours. I'll see you later, my sisters and brothers.
Right, it's time to get the rest of these onions out that's in the trays here, because they're getting a bit big. So what I've been doing, I've gone round, there's a few that have died off here, the ones that I sowed the other week. So I've pulled them out, I replaced the ones, because some of them look as though they're doing alright. So I've left the healthiest ones in, and I'm going to just quickly replace these ones that are missing. Fill in the gaps, as they say. So these ones have been in that greenhouse there for a while. It's more like a cold frame, that greenhouse, but the roots are chock-a-block on these, so perfect time to get them out. Now the weather, it's been freezing cold at night, and like frosty, freezing cold, but round about tea time it starts getting out nice, which is good. Gives us plenty of time to get things what I need done. There's just 2 more in here, then I'll go on to the rest. I don't know what the weather's been like in other parts of the country, but it's definitely still signs of winter here. There's one more here, that'll do. Sorry about that, I'm just talking to myself. Feels like I'm talking to myself anyway when I'm making videos. Are you listening? Oops, one of them's just fell out there. Are you listening to me? Or have you just skipped this part? We'll soon find out. Leave us a comment below. Right, that's that there. So there's another one. Where was it? Here. Pulling it out there. The first onions I put out, I knew there would be problems with them. Up here, like in the northeast, it is too cold. Never cast a clout till May is out. That's a saying, and it means something. Like I say, especially up here in the northeast. And now I know people are going to say, "Oh, what you're on about? It's not to do with the month." I know. It's the Mayflower from the hawthorn. But there was one year I noticed the Mayflower didn't come out till the middle of June. So what you're supposed to do there? You've got to take a risk sometimes. It's almost the middle of April now. Things are getting on. The weather's, like I say, turns out nice at tea times, and then gets freezing cold during the night and in the mornings until about 12 o'clock. Right, I need to get some more of these. So I'll crack on. I'll see you in a bit. Right, I'm going to get the rest of the onions out here in these cell trays, get them in the ground. As you can see, it hasn't rained for a while, so after these have been put in, I'll be giving them a good watering with a hose. So I'll crack on with this. Right, just another 36 to go, and then I'll get the red onions out and the shallots. So I'll crack on with that. I'll not bore you with the filming of that. I'll see you in a bit. Right, so that's the onions out. Well, there's still a few more, but you can only do so much before you get sick of doing onions. I want to crack on with another job. Give the garlic a good water in it. Pardon me. Iron brew makes you burp. The garlic needs a good water in it as well there. So I'll crack on with this while that's going on. That's all of the onions out. The shallots, that's your shallots. The root, red onions, normal onions, shallots. Had a good watering for at least half an hour. They've had a good soak. We could do with some rain. I'm not going to tempt the rain dance like, and apparently it's good for that. So there you go, bit of comfrey information there for you. While I'm here, there's my onions. All doing alright there. Everything, like I say, has had a good watering. I don't know what people do if they haven't got access to a hose, like, because it would just be a nightmare. It hasn't rained properly for weeks now. All the water barrels are nearly empty. What else has been happening? These onions, they're in here now. I'm going to have to find some space for them to go out. It looks like I'm going to be growing onions and potatoes this year, folks. These are the ones from seed, the Peter Glazebrook ones. As you can see, they're all doing canny there. Not bad. So I'll be finding a space for them to go out. But they're looking alright, as are the onions. Fantastic. This rain's just what they needed, like, because tap water is just not the same. It's just not the same. Have I got any raindrops on there? No, we're alright. This comfrey needs cutting down. I'll give it another week because the bees are still enjoying the flowers there. So I'll leave them be. I'll chop them down when the flowers have died off a little bit. So the onions doing great. After a little bit of rain, 1 week of rain, and everything's just flying up. Flying. Oh, I forgot to show you this last time as well. I put some carrots in and they've come up. So there's a line of carrots there from seed, which will need thinning out soon, but hopefully the onions will keep away the carrot fly. That's a little experiment. Let's see if it works. I am pleased with these onions, especially the red onions seem to be doing okay as well. Fingers crossed they don't go to seed. Oh, I've just cursed myself there probably. But I've just had to go around there and give it a good hand weed. Just stepping on in amongst the onions there and get, because you can't get the hoe right into that like without disturbing the plant. Right, whoa! In the last couple of weeks, and there's the onions have all been watered. Look at that, looks nice and green there. So they're all picking up nicely. This row here is some of me Peter Glazebrook giants, as you can see there. Much bigger. I'll get you out the sun there. Much bigger than the other ones. But at the end of the day, they are supposed to be. Buzz, 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 do your thing. Go away and have some tea. Right, the onions are doing great. These are the Peter Glazebrook ones, are from the seed. Doing good. And the carrots here, in between the onions, I've had a little bit of a thin out. These shallots be ready to pull soon. So I don't think they'll be getting much bigger than that. But a lovely sight in the sun, eh? Aye, so I'll give the onions a good hoe round, and I've sprinkled some of the Grow Fast seaweed stuff all over. Give it the last feed of the season. Hopefully it'll boost them up. If you didn't know this, I mean, look at the size of that already. That's a canny size. And it's the longest day after that is when your onions will start to swell. They'll start dying back. As you can see, there's still plenty of growth. They're not starting to die off yet or anything, so they're still growing. I have noticed today there, I've got some on. So things are starting to happen now. They are. This onion here, the one from seed, the giant Peter Glazebrook one, that's the right size. That one looks about the same size. Hey, I wonder if I'll be able to get 5 of the same size onions grown. Maybe it's for Harrogate. My shallots, they'll be ready to pick soon. The carrots are getting bigger, if you can see there. So everything's doing alright. Like I say, everything's had it. Whoa! I've just spent the past hour and a half watering everything. Them coppers are gone now. They're probably on the way around here. What's happening? The coppers are gone. Oh shit, what was I talking about? Me shallots ready soon. I've been given that's where I was. I've been given everything a good watering. Like I say, an hour and a half on everything. And before I watered today, I went round, hand weeded in between, and got right up towards the onions. And it looks great. they're all starting to thicken up. There was a few red onions there that had bent over, so they weren't going to grow anymore, but there is a few. But these are stir-on onions, and they're doing great. Best year ever for onions. As you can see there, these ones, this one here especially, that just keeps on growing. Well, it's that you could pick that now, but as you can see, it's still growing, as are all other ones. So not until they flop over will I be harvesting these. It's just a sea of onions.
Yeah, bye.
What?
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye. Crack on. Woo, nearly tripped over. Another job, like I say, that needs doing is these onions, which have all flopped over, shall be taken up, and I'll put them in the greenhouse to store and all that kind of thing. So I'll crack on with that. Catch us in a bit. Right folks, if all this has been edited correctly, you should be on today, which is July the 29th, Monday, and I hope that little guide helps you to growing some onions. I'll spin you around. As you can see, the onions are out, apart from the giant ones. I pulled the shallots as well, but that's a different story. So the giant ones I've left in, see if they get any bigger than that, and the rest are out. Now there's a few here, the 20 have got signs of white rot, so I've just left them. I don't want them, they don't store very well. It's funny this year, I mean, they don't look as though they are, but they're just pulled out the ground. They'll not store very well, them ones. But it's the first time they've grew that big and then started getting signs of white rot. But never mind. Like, look at that one, that's quite big, but look at it, it's covered in white rot. So 20 out of 80 have went rotten. So I'll show you the rest. The rain's stopped off, which is good. There's all my shallots. Now that's enough shallots for me. Awesome. Pleased with the results of them. Anyway, onto the onions. Now I've counted them here. There's 60 onions, which are fine, and they're all a good size. So they're all drying out here nicely. These ones have been drying out for a couple of weeks now, so they'll be ready to pick. What I do next is I'll hang them up in a pair of stockings or something, and they'll just hang once they're dried out, and they'll store for as long as you need them. And this year, for the first time, I've grew some decent red onions. They usually go to seed or bolt, but they haven't this year, which is good. Like I say, I'm pleased with them. I let them dry out here. They're all nice and firm. Lovely. And I tell you what, I was crying earlier on. It's you know, when you're peeling onions and that, it makes you cry. Well, so does putting onions in the bench. So that's it folks, I'll spin you around. I hope this little video, like I say, it's a different thing. I just thought I'd put all of the clips of how I grew my onions together, and I hope it's helped some people. If not, whatever. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, commenting, liking and all that kind of thing, and I'll see you on the next one folks. Enjoy your onions and crack on.